Hi guys, it's Nana, Foxy Mama 365. We're back with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 4. From one surprise to another. Yeah, so reeling from the Real Housewives of Potomac, which is finally done. Whew. With Monique leaving, we're able to jump right back into Atlanta. Even though a lot of people are saying, no, they're not really gonna be watching. They're like, kind of people are like upset. We're really upset at Andy for all the shenanigans that happened at the reunion from the Potomac. But it is what it is, you know. Like I said, I was thinking if Monique did come back, how would she and Giselle ever be able to shoot together? Will they, you know, it just... So I think at the end of the day, Chris was right. He was playing chess, they were playing checkers. So it is what it is. So Monique bowed out and she's gone. So here we are back with Atlanta. Are you guys going to be watching or you're not going to be watching? What you guys, I mean, what are you guys watching or you're not watching? Nini tried to get us to stop watching Bravo entirely because she's been saying, oh, Bravo had kind of been messy towards them black girls, that it was always seemed like they would carry the franchise, and then they would kind of, because she and herself and Mariah from Married to Medicine had been kind of dropped, gotten off the shows. And I don't know, would I really say it's a black girl thing? I don't know, because Lisa Vanderpump also was dropped. Also in Orange County as well, we had Vicky also was dropped, let go of, you know, and those are like the big, like the HBITCs in charge, you know. So we did, I said it earlier, I said, Nini, tread lightly, because it looks like Bravo is finding out that, look, listen, why pay so much money for one talent when you can pay so much, you can pay less and get more people, you know, and be able to mix it up and be able to dive into other people's lives, you know, pretty much. I think that was what their thinking was. However, with Monique leaving, it's sad, but for her family and for her sanity, it made the most sense. Anyways, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we get back into the ladies. We're trying to get back into all of what's going on. We see Cynthia, Cynthia with her sister, Mallory and Kenya, and then they get to do this yoga. Talking about yoga, I have this yoga app I paid for a whole year. I literally have, anyways, yoga. Yoga, you will never really understand, know that how hard yoga is. When you look at people doing it, you think, oh, what's the big deal? They're just stretching. But yoga really gets your body into some positions that you're like, okay, this is hard, this is tough, you know? Anyway, so they're doing some yoga. After the yoga, they get to speak in Kenya. Cynthia is not feeling too good. She's kind of stressed. And she's talking about the wedding and what's going on with Mike and how they're going back and forth and arguing. And Mallory's like, look, let me just explain what's going on pretty much. And she says, look, Cynthia is pretty much going off that if she can't have this big grand wedding in this place, then maybe 2010-20 is not meant to be for them. And Mike is saying, look, are you more interested in the wedding or the marriage, which are two different things? The wedding is that particular day, right? And the marriage is the rest of your life, which you're hoping to spend together. So I think Mike is kind of asking for assurances. So of course she's going now, Kenya is getting in and trying to say, Cynthia, girl, what are you doing, you know? He just wants you to tell him that, look, no matter what it is, even if come hell, come high water, come pandemic, whatever it is, that day that we have picked, we are going to get that thing done on that day, regardless of whether we're able to get the film crew there, whether we're going to have production there, whether the pandemic is going to be able to shut down the entire city. I just want you to tell me, and that's pretty much, they're able to let Cynthia know and understand that this is what this man is asking for. That, look, it's me and you. I'm here because of you. I'm here for the marriage, not just the wedding. So of course Cynthia is saying, look, production is not going to be telling her what to do with her life, whether they didn't tell her to get divorced, you know, and all of that. But so she's going to let Mike know that, look, I'm going to marry you on this day, come hell, high water. Which is what they were trying to say, or let her know. Moving on, Riley got that shade in before I move on. Riley told Candy, girl, you ain't smart. She said, girl, you ain't smart. You're street smart, but you ain't academic smart, okay? You ain't smart. So she said, Akada, you ain't got no Akada in your head. So that was really funny. I thought that was really cool. Moving on. So of course Kenya gets to meeting up with Candy and they're having lunch. And she's talking about Cynthia's situation and how she tells Cynthia that she's going to have a little event for Cynthia, since it looked like she almost, you know, ruined her engagement. So she's going to be doing a redo, and Cynthia's going to be is not going to be in the know. So she's going to get the other girls. Can Candy invite the other girls? And Candy's like, girl, why do you want me to be your spokes? Is it because all the other girls aren't going to come because if they know it's your event, they're not going to show up? Because they go down the list. Porsha ain't going to show up. Marlo ain't going to show up. And of course, Porsha's good friend too is not going to show up. So they're like, you know, Kenya has done so many shady things. You know, usually after the reunion, the ladies need a little time to get over all the shenanigans that go on at the reunion. You know, so that's pretty much what it is. But Candy is happy to do it and happy to host it. And of course, they go into Porsha. Candy is saying, oh yeah, Porsha is doing really good and she's got arrested again. And of course, Kenya can't help herself but saying, she's getting arrested again. So she's kind of like saying that maybe Portia's movement is not is for the cameras and for, you know, so of course, Candy is saying, girl, at the end of the day, and which is my thought as well, at the end of the day, Porsha is doing the damn thing. You know, she might not be doing it the way you want her to because she didn't have a mask on and all of that. However, she is putting herself out there. She's sacrificing herself, her time in a pandemic. Yeah, I know a lot of us will be like, look, listen, I would love to be out there. But you know what? When there's a pandemic and all of that, you can't be safe. So people that actually went out to go and protest, you understand that that is because it's something that they really care and they are passionate about. And being able to do that, for that alone, we should be able to give them kudos for doing it. Period, Kenya. Okay, so of course Candy's already saying, I can see you trying to shade Porsha. Moving on. Marlo, of course, not gonna come. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. Kenya and Latoya, of course, are they bi-curious? You actually have production asking Kenya if she and Latoya have ever had anything together. She's like, but it looks like Latoya really can jump me, but she's like, I can't even believe you guys are even asking me this question. And of course, they threw the question back to Candy. Was Candy going to be jealous? Candy's like, jealous? No way. Not me. You can have each other, okay? However, she says, look, she's happy to send them some of Candy some Candy toys, okay? Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. It's Drew and Ralph. Okay, let's just get into this. Like I said, watching these two fight is, I really, honestly, okay. Anyways, Drew and Ralph eventually have agreed to do some cancelling, even though Drew says it's like the 6th or the 10th time. However, she can't even count anymore because Ralph never gets to doing the homework because for some reason he always bails out. So he's like a starter, but probably not a finisher. And I get that. So they get to speaking to Miss Love McPherson, and she's saying what really is the situation. Drew says her problems really are transparency, and she wants to know that he has genuine love for her son, who was from her first marriage or from an earlier relationship. And she's like, okay, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, she just wants there to not be any kind of difference between the way they're raising all 3 kids, because they have 2 kids together. So she wants the boy, who is a little sensitive, to kind of feel like, yeah, he is loved, genuinely loved, and not, you know, feel like Ralph is kind of treating him differently. That's pretty much what the first thing. Then she talks about him going out, going grocery shopping, or leaving the house and not letting her know. Going all the way to Florida, Tampa, and not letting her know. Just kind of the transparency she's talking about. Kind of being honest, you know. Even talking about you recording or putting the camera in the house and not letting me know. Like, what is the camera for? To just be spying on? Like, that didn't make any sense. So they ask Ralph, what is your situation? He says he wants respect and more sex. Okay, I think the sex bit will come as you guys begin to walk through your issues and begin to appreciate each other more and actually take time to spend with each other. And he says he wants sex 3 times a week. Okay, boy. Like, you ain't okay. He says that is conservative. Okay, we see you. Okay, good. Good for you, Ralph. Anyway, with regards to the sex, he says he's seen Drew's kind of emasculate her dad, the way her mom treated her dad, and she doesn't want that to happen to him, and that would never happen to him. And Drew's like, no, that's not even the situation. And then they get to talking about how he grew up. His dad left when he was a young man, and pretty much his mom was left to fend for him, and he did all his best. But I think later on in life, he felt his mom didn't appreciate him, and he left and went to stay with his dad. Later on, his mom, came and apologized to him and said she was sorry. So I think pretty much you can see that there's a lot of hurt from his past, which is bringing that baggage into his marriage. And I'm happy he's making the effort to actually speak with a counselor, because I think so much can be achieved when you're able to kind of deal with your insecurities from growing up, and then that way Drew doesn't have to feel like she is being battered or bearing the brunt of all the situation that you had with your mom growing up, or didn't have with your mom. So it is what it is. Hopefully, first steps, baby steps. Drew doesn't feel, he did apologize, but she said she's heard it before. She doesn't know, she's tired of hearing it, and she's gonna see, she's just gonna watch, and hopefully these are baby steps. But they've taken the first step, and like I said, the first step is always the most important one. Once you can start, then hopefully you keep going and growing. Lauren is having an event for Porsha to kind of like appreciate her, so she's sending out invites to everybody. She gets on the phone, she calls Cynthia, she's also calling Candy, who's sitting there with Marlo and Toya. So she invites everybody, she's like, Marlo girl, yeah girl, you're gonna be there? Course, sure thing. So but at this point, she's telling Cynthia, okay, I hope you'll be able to come. Cynthia's like, can I bring a +1? Can I bring Kenya? She's like, yeah, only if Kenya is going to be, be of good behavior and bring good vibes. If Kenya is not going to be, showing up with good vibe, I really don't need that energy, because they're not in a good place. But sure, why not? Kenya, as usual, is usually shady towards Porsha. And this is where I'm pretty much, I'm over it. I'm like, Kenya, you have to stop bullying Porsha. You have to pick on, find something else. Find someone else to bully. I mean, she's already trying to bully Drew. So, but Porsha, aren't you tired of it? Anyways. Drew and Ralph, unfortunately, Ralph's dad passed. He had a heart attack, and then they're going to be going for the funeral for 2 days, leaving the kids with her mom and I think someone else. Pretty much Ralph is at the point where he's realized that, oh wow, life is short. Anything can happen to anybody, and that's why we have to grab life by the balls. But I don't know why though he wasn't able to spend time or take his father to the games and do all of that. Everybody should know, once you have parents that are getting older, as much as we don't want them to get older, we don't realize that they are, but they really are. And when you can do something nice for people, get it done. So at this point, we see Porsha hanging out with Marlo, and they're getting tete-a-tete and find out what's going on with Porsha and Dennis. And Porsha is letting the ladies know that, yeah, she and Dennis are done. They're not done, but they are good, in regards to taking care of their daughter PJ. However, between her and Dennis, nah. But Dennis keeps on sending her lovely gifts, and she's happy to take them and accept them. Good for you, Porsha. But Marlo makes a good point. Don't let it be about the material things. Let it really be about the substance of raising the child and actually loving and respecting each other. Anyways, Kenya gets uninvited to the event, and she's going literally crazy. She was like, oh yeah, she's very excited. She had a doll she was going to give to Pillar. Unfortunately, the whole pandemic thing hit, so that event probably didn't go on, or they didn't show up. So she's going to give the doll she's going to be bringing the doll along as a gift and all of that. However, Cynthia lets her know that, girl, the invite has been rescinded. And then when I'm thinking, and of course, Kenya's upset. She's like, did you guys know about this? Everybody's like, no, no, we didn't know anything about it. We're just finding out. She's like, well, someone's going to be paying for this. And she's like, why would she do that? Does she think I'm going to come there and make a fuss about it, And everybody's thinking, well, yeah, you've done that before. And of course, we're going to Kenya more hair care. Remember that? Yeah, Kenya, you've done a lot of shitty things at people's events that really, so people always look at you sideways. And when people have a very serious event and they just want to go, hitch-free, they're going to say, is Kenya going to come with her BS again? So that's pretty much what it is. But however, she's like, well, she now gets to talking to to Candy and letting Candy know that, well, Candy should let the ladies know about the event for Cynthia. Obviously, it's still going to be a surprise for Cynthia, but let the ladies know. And then she goes into, oh, what do they think she's going to be doing? She's going to come and ruin the event? Is she going to, you know, like, why would they rescind an invite? And I'm thinking, of course, she now goes into Porsha and saying, oh, how every time Porsha got arrested, there was a photo op. And how it was always, she was arrested in front of the cameras. How come the cameras were there? That is, you know, you're talking about Black Lives Matters and unity among women. However, you're going to, and I'm thinking to myself, Porsha doesn't even know the event is happening, girl. Yeah? First, let's get that out of the way. It was Lauren that decided in good faith that, you know what, you guys are not in a good space. So, like, I really don't need to have that energy around. Period. You know, so I don't understand why Kenya, and indeed Kenya, you saw Kenya start going in and talking about how the whole thing is fake and a self-serving event. And Candy was right. Candy was like, girl, if you feel this way, why do you want to be at the event? Don't make sense. If you already feel the event is fake and phony and all that Porsha is doing is fake and phony, why do you want to be at the event then, Kenya? It makes no sense. Anyways, you ain't invited, okay? So, of course, Kenya is upset. You know, she can go ahead and play with her daughter and, you know, get her makeup or find something else to do. The party! We now get our introduction to Joy. Of course, Fallon is there as well. And Toya, Toya is there. And then, of course, Toya starts going in. She's pretty much just met Fallon and she's like, oh, how old are you? How old is your husband? Fallon said her husband is 56. I think he's Nigerian as well. And they have 8 kids together. He's got 5 and she's got 3. And that if she had Cynthia's height, she probably would, you know, do so much more with her life. However, you know, probably not have all these kids and all of that. But it is what it is. And of course, Latoya can't help but say, oh, you like older men? She's like, not really. This is my first time and I'm married to him. My first man. And she's like, oh, was your first husband older as well? And she's like, girl, this is my first time of dating an older man. I am married to an older. And of course, Candy is explaining that, look, you see, Toya is Kenya on steroids. If you think Kenya is crazy, Toya is like times 10. And I don't know how, I just don't understand why I think she's doing too much. I know she wants to be on the show. However, she is doing way too much. Anyway, she says she's Kenya on steroids. So Porsha arrives and she's like, oh, what in the world is going on? What is happening? Yeah, and that pretty much she's in shock. So she's almost in tears. She's like, why are you guys doing this? You don't need to celebrate me. No, why? You know, and the place really looks amazing. Lauren did a great job with all the photos. I really would have loved, you know, to have seen, you know, done a tour and seen all the photos and all the stuff of, you know, Porsha, you know, in her element, which is kind of cool. So of course Porsha is like, let me go change and all of that. Let me get myself together. Thank you guys. You guys look amazing. So she heads out. However, the ladies now get to talking and they're like, oh, how old are you? The ladies are saying they're 33, 31, and of course Cynthia is like 53. I think Candy is about 48 or 46 thereabouts. So Candy's letting the ladies know that, oh, I could have, you know, babysat you. I could have, you know, taken care of you. And Cynthia's like, you know what? I could have had you. I thought that was so funny and so shady. And of course Candy goes in and says, oh, you know what, yeah, if I feel old, you should feel ancient like a dinosaur, okay? Any which ways, Kenya and Porsha, their journey, of course Cynthia, okay, well, of course Cynthia gets to give him the gift, the beautiful doll, and she's like, well, Kenya is not here, it was from Kenya. She's like, yeah, pretty much no love lost between them. They tried to be friends last season when they both had their daughters, but it didn't work out, and it's fine, it's okay. So she's like, yeah, I can't be bothered with Kenya, you know, it is what it is, you know. But I'm happy that Porsha has come to this place where she just realizes that Kenya is never going to really accept her, that she's always going to try and dig at her, no matter what good she's trying to do. So it is what it is, you know. People don't have to always be friends, but we can be cordial, but we don't have to be friends. However, I'm honestly tired of this storyline of Kenya and Porsha going at it, you know. Which is why, you know, Nini would have, if Nini had been here, it would have been Kenya and Nini. However, Nini is not here. So now Kenya has to resort to some other person she's got to fight with. So she's taking it at either Porsha which is an old and tired storyline, or now it's going to be Drew. So we'll see. I know yesterday night Drew was going in and saying a lot of stuff on Twitter about Kenya. She was literally going in on Kenya, which is going to be interesting to see how that dynamic is going to work out. You know, and of course Nene asking people to boycott Bravo. Are you guys going to be boycotting Bravo? I ain't. You? Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to like and share.